Ever found yourself staring at a raisin and wondering, man, what's your story? One day you're a juicy, plump grape, and the next, you're a sweet, shriveled little mystery. It's quite the transformation, isn't it? So, how does a grape lose all that water but gain so much flavor? Is it just a really long sunbath? Or is there some secret factory magic involved? Believe it or not, people have been doing this for thousands of years. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly how these tiny treats are made. Plus, I've got a 10-second trick to tell if those raisins in your cupboard are still fresh.
I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things.
Imagine living thousands of years ago with no fridge. Your fruit goes bad in a heartbeat. Then some lucky farmer in the Mediterranean notices grapes left in the sun didn't rot. They just got wrinkly. Curious, right? He took a bite and boom. Sweetness overload. By 3,000 years ago, everyone wanted a piece of the action. Egyptians offered them to gods, while Persians packed them for long desert hauls. Even the Romans were obsessed. They used raisins for everything from fancy sauces to rewards for winners. Talk about a sweet prize. So, why don't they rot? It's simple. Grapes are basically little water balloons. When the sun sucks out the water, the sugar stays behind and gets super concentrated. No water means no mold or bacteria can grow. Nature's very own preserve button activated. Now, don't go thinking any old grape can make the cut. Most raisins you munch on come from the Thompson seedless. Why? Because nobody likes biting into a surprise seed, right? Plus, they've got thin skin and they're naturally super sweet. Grapes are a bit like us. They need the perfect vacation spot to dry out. We're talking blazing sun and bone-dry air. That's why California's Central Valley is the king of raisins. It's basically a giant natural oven for 90% of America's supply. When August rolls around, the party starts. Farmers wait until the sugar levels are just right. Not too early, not too late. Then, it's go time. Whether it's by hand or fancy machines, every cluster is gathered before the weather turns. Once they're off the vine, the real magic kicks in. For centuries, this wasn't done in some high-tech lab. It was just the grapes, the ground, and the wide open sky. Simple, right? But man, let me tell you, the results are legendary. Making raisins the old-fashioned way is almost too simple to believe. After the harvest, we just lay them out on big sheets of brown paper right there on the ground. We call these drying rows, and it's basically where the grapes go for a long, quiet nap. Then, we let the sun do its thing. For about 2 or 3 weeks, it slowly pulls out all that water. You'll see them shrink, wrinkle, and get that deep, dark color we all know. It's like the sweetness is hiding inside and getting more intense every day. But hey, it's not all hands off. We've got to check on them, flip them over so they dry evenly, and even tuck them in at night. Yeah, we fold the paper over to keep the morning dew from ruining the whole batch. It's a delicate balance, you know. If everything goes right, you get this soft, sticky treat with a hint of caramel. It's a method that's been around for ages. But there's one catch. You can't control the sun. One bad rainstorm and everything is ruined. Talk about a high-stakes job. Let's be real. Mother Nature can be a total drama queen. One minute it's all sunshine, and the next, a sudden downpour ruins weeks of progress. For a farmer, that's not just a bad day, it's a nightmare. Waiting around for weeks is simply too slow for today's world. That's exactly why many companies have traded the vineyard floor for high-tech drying tunnels. Grapes get washed and tucked into these massive saunas where warm air swirls around them. By perfectly controlling the temperature and humidity, we create a perfect summer day without any of the annoying clouds or rain. The goal is simple. Copy the sun, but make it faster and way more predictable. Honestly, the difference in speed is just mind-blowing. While traditional sun drying takes about 3 long weeks, these machines, They can finish the whole job in less than 24 hours. Boom! Just like that, you've got a raisin ready to go. This efficiency keeps everything consistent. Every raisin comes out looking like a perfect twin of the next, same color, same texture, and perfect for those big snack boxes you see in stores. Plus, drying indoors means you never have to worry about the weather again. But here's the kicker. Machines aren't free. They eat up a ton of electricity, unlike the sun, which works for $0. That's why most producers are smart and use both methods depending on the season. But even when they're finally shriveled and dry, their adventure isn't over yet. Not even close. Once the raisins are bone dry, it's off to the processing plant. First thing we do, get rid of the junk. You know, stems, stray leaves, and whatever else hitched a ride from the vineyard. It's like giving them a quick hairbrush before the big show. Then it's bath time. We rinse them off to get rid of dust, dirt, and that sticky sap left over from their time on the ground. Nobody wants a dirty snack, right? Now it gets really cool. They go through machines that shake, rattle, and roll to sort them by size and weight. But wait, there's more. High-speed cameras and lasers scan thousands of raisins every single second. If one looks a bit off, boom, it's kicked out. Only the best make the team. Finally, they're ready for the box. Some get a tiny splash of vegetable oil so they don't turn into one big sticky clump in your hand. Smart, huh? From the sunny fields to your grocery shelf, it's been quite a ride. Whether they're in your cereal or hidden in a cookie, these little guys represent a massive global effort. Who knew such a tiny fruit had such a busy schedule? Think raisins are just a boring little snack? Think again. We're talking about a massive global industry here. Just look at California. They pump out over 200,000 tons every single year. That's a lot of raisins, right? But the US is just one piece of the puzzle. Turkey, Iran, and China are also huge players, each bringing their own unique grapes and ancient traditions to the table. Different places, different names. But the core idea? Exactly the same. You suck out the water and boom, you've got a fruit that's sweeter, richer, and lasts way longer. It's a simple trick that's been fueling trade and hungry travelers for thousands of years. Honestly, it's one of the smartest things humans ever figured out. But now that these little guys are in your kitchen, there's a tiny problem. They're already wrinkly and brown, right? So, let me guess what you're thinking. How on earth do you know if they've actually gone bad? Let me guess what you're thinking. Raisins last forever, right? Well, not exactly. They're definitely the champions of long-term storage, but even these shriveled superstars have an expiration date. Don't worry, though. I've got a quick 10-second rule to help you spot the duds instantly. First, just use your eyes. Healthy raisins should be dark brown or deep purple with a nice, subtle shine. If you spot any weird grey patches or powdery white dust on them, nah, that's a big red flag that they've started to spoil. Trust me, you don't want those. Next, give them a little squeeze. You want them to feel soft and slightly sticky, kind of like a tiny, chewy hug for your fingers. If they're rock hard, or even worse, feel unusually wet and slimy. Yeah, it's time to say goodbye. Did you see that? It's all about the texture. Finally, take a quick sniff. A fresh raisin carries a mild, sweet aroma that makes you want to snack. But if you catch a sour or fermented smell like a science experiment gone wrong, toss them immediately. It's just not worth the risk. Keep your survivors in a sealed container in a cool, dark spot, and they'll stay happy for many months. Easy peasy, right? It's easy to look at a raisin and think it's just a dried-up grape. And you're right. But behind that tiny, shriveled skin is a story that's thousands of years old. From ancient Mediterranean farmers to modern-day laser sensors, it's been one heck of a ride. The core idea is still exactly the same as it was in 1000 BC. Take a ripe grape, let time and heat do the heavy lifting, and wait for the magic. Smaller? Yes. Darker? Definitely. but way more intense than where it started. So, next time you're munching on a cookie or digging through your cereal, take a second to look at those little guys. Each one was once a plump fruit soaking up the summer sun. It makes you appreciate that tiny snack a bit more, doesn't it? You see, sometimes the most ordinary things in your kitchen carry the longest, most incredible journeys. Stay curious and never stop wondering about the simple things around you.
I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the simple things in everyday life. Because what you see is never the whole story. There's always something deeper beneath the surface. See you in the next one.